welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be filming this smoky olive green look for you guys. I never do my hair, but it's okay because we ain't going nowhere. I filmed for you. I'm not going out. So after I'm done, you know, we'll talk about this in a second. So after I'm done taking my pictures and my thumbnail and everything, maybe we'll do a Snapchat. I'm just gonna wash this off. I was just inspired because all of summer I've been loving olive. Get it? Yeah? Okay. I will list all of the products and everything that I used and the shades that I used below. I do notice a lot of times makeup gurus will not put the shade, and I'm like, girl, I need to know because I need it. I was gonna buy it and you didn't say it or post it. And also I wanted to put this in the intro just so that you guys see it. I know people will probably fast forward the intro, but I'll put it in the description box too in case if you're a description box lurker. I want to do a Q&A and I don't really know how to go about it because I don't have many followers on my Twitter account. So I did post to ask me questions there, but I feel like a lot of my YouTube subscribers aren't really following me on any of my social media. Ask me whatever you want to know, I guess. I've had a lot of requests recently for a Q&A. I think it's just because people want to just get to know me better. They don't really know me that well. I don't think I've actually done like a Q&A or a personal get to know me type of thing. So I want you guys to ask me anything. Please keep it PG-13. You can ask me anything, makeup related questions about my life, about what I do, if I have a boyfriend or, you know, anything like that. Yeah, so leave your question in the comments below, and then in the next video I'm going to read them off, and that'll be my next video. It'll be a Q&A. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, and stay Bella. Bye guys. Alright guys, so I've already moisturized and I look a hot mess. I'm really broken out, but it's okay. So we're going to go in with the Cover FX Mattifying Primer with Anti-Acne Treatment, and this is the first time I'm using this. I just have a little sample size and I really enjoyed it. I like my Benefit Professional a lot more than this, but it's okay. Maybe it's one of those things you have to get used to. So I apply it to my face, and then I go ahead and take it down on my neck because I do apply makeup to my neck as well. Then I'm going to go in with my LA Pro Conceal Green Color Conceal Corrector Stick, and just going to go ahead and get rid of the red pigmentation from the pimples on my face because green counteracts red, as we all know. If we don't know, now we know. Not going to say the next word. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take my ring finger, blending out the green shade. You want to blend it out enough so that the green is still there, but you definitely want to mute that green because you don't want it to peek through your foundation. But then you don't want to blend it enough to where it's not working. It's trickery, I tell you. I know. It's tough. What are we going to do? So then I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I'm in the shade Warm Beige. I just dot my foundation on my face first, and then I go in with my Beauty Blender. I make sure to really cover up the sections that I color corrected as well, just to make sure none of the green is going to peek through. So it comes off a little yellow on camera, but you'll see by the end of the video I make everything blend together. I will be taking the foundation down on my neck in a second here as well, but I do like to use a brush for that more than a beauty blender. I don't know why. I think it's just preference. I feel like I have an easier time blending it on my neck with a brush than I do with the beauty blender. So like I said, I just put it on a brush. This is the Real Techniques buffing brush, I believe, and then I just go ahead and go down on my neck area, a little bit onto my collarbones, just to make sure it's going to blend with my chest. Because my face and my neck is always paler than my chest, so I have to kind of, you know, make sure everything blends right. So then I'm going to go in with my NYX Dark Circle Concealer Corrector, and this is just in the shade Light Pale. It's a nice peachy salmon shade, but it does work in helping to remove the dark circles you may have. So I like to apply this with a little e.l.f. brush, and then I go ahead and use my ring finger and blend that out as well. Same technique as with the green concealer. You want to blend it out enough to where it's still there, but to where it's a little bit hidden. So then I'm taking this Revlon concealer, and I'm so sorry guys, this is so old that it does not say anything on it other than Revlon, and I just put it around my nose to get rid of any redness, and then I go ahead and conceal my pimples even further with it. Next, I'm going in with my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Neutralizer, and I'm just going to apply that under my eye in sort of that upside down triangle shape. I blend this out with a beauty blender as well, and then as soon as that is blended, I go ahead and set it with my banana powder. So I leave the other side go for right now. So I go in with the banana powder. I'm just using a Morphe brush for this, and I have some below me. You guys can't see on a little tray here. So I just go ahead and set this so that it doesn't get into my fine lines and wrinkles. My next step is to go in and prime our eyes. This is my favorite eyeshadow primer. This is just the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. It really helps to create my or like a non-creasing effect for my eyeshadows, and it doesn't, get oily or slip around throughout the day. This is my holy grail primer, and I use it as sort of an under eye concealer as well, as you probably just saw. So now I'm going to go in with my bronzer, and I apply this all over my face. I know that people say, don't apply bronzer all over your face, but I sort of use this bronzer as just a regular face powder, if that makes sense. So this is the Physicians Formula Mineral Airbrushing Bronzer and Light Bronzer. And I apply it to my whole face, just not on my eyelids, because I don't want to mess with the primer or anything like that, because I am going to be applying eyeshadow to my eyelids, obviously. Hello. Then I am going to go ahead and take it down on my neck as well. Like I said, I just want to make sure everything blends in well and no problems are created there. And this is where I realized I was a sloppy bitch and got makeup all on my shirt. Okay, next is the bronzer. I'm going to go in with my favorite bronzer. This is the Too Faced Dark Chocolate Soleil in Deep Tan. And I just first start out by contouring my jawline just to create a shadow there. So if it looks like I have any, double chin effect, it'll hide that. And then I contour a little differently than most. I take this Morphe brush, which I will link the brushes and everything below. And I chisel my cheeks first. So I sort of make a line first, and then I'm going to go ahead with my Real Techniques contouring brush, and I just go ahead and blend on top of that. So you will see it does create a natural looking contour, at least in my eyes. It might look a little crazy to some people, but I love it, and that's all that matters, bitches, okay? I do take my bronzer on my temples and the corners of my forehead and across my forehead as well, just to create a smaller forehead, the appearance of a smaller forehead. Oh my God, can you hear these cicadas? It's like they're coming for me. What is going on outside? And I am inside. I am hella confused. Okay, so we're going to create the chicken foot highlight, as I call it. It's just the little chicken, the talons on the forehead, and then down the nose, the chin, the cupid's bow, and then I forgot, but now I remembered, I'm going to go ahead and chisel out my cheekbones even more with the banana powder, and this is going to help to really clean up the contour. This trick I learned, I can't remember who I learned it from, but it was somebody on YouTube. I think it was Nicole Guerrero, and this just helps to really create a clean looking contour, and this is also my baking process as well. Next is my nose contour, and I sort of do a reverse nose contour. I just go alongside my nose with the banana powder, leaving a little space for my contour powder to go right inside of that line, if that makes any sense. I don't know why I do this. I just feel like this is a better way for me to do it. I'm able to clean up the contour quicker, and it sort of creates a nice little barrier for me to stay inside the lines there with my nose contour. So I'm just using that same shade from the Too Faced contour that I had, and we're just going to put that near our nose. And then I'm going to start buffing out the concealer on my forehead and my chin as well. you guys will realize I did not do my Cupid's bow. I forgot I even have it there. So I left it on through this whole tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead with a stippling brush and just apply some banana powder to my forehead and then go over a little bit with the contour powder, just making sure I didn't create any weird lines or anything like that. I must have cut the part out, but I did pat my nose with my ring finger and just blended out the concealer on my nose. But then I'm going to go ahead with this little brush and I'm going to brush off the banana powder right there. And then I'm going to go ahead with the Sephora little sort of buffing brush, I guess. I'm not sure which brush this is. And I'm going to go ahead alongside my nose. And my nose contour technique, I like to brush the contour up onto my nose, if that makes sense, because if you brush down onto the sides of your nose, you're going to create more of a shadow and it's going to make your nose appear to be bigger. So that's my little tip and trick. Then I'm going to go ahead and create my little button nose here, and then I take my Mary Loumanizer highlight and I go ahead and put it on my pinky, and I just put it on the tip of my nose. This is just going to create a slimmer appearance on the bridge of the nose, as well as give us this little fairy highlight on the tip of our nose. So now I have eyebrows, and I look weird with some tape on my face, but hey, that's okay. So we're going to go in with the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette, and I'm going to start applying this to the brow bone. I apply the shade Heaven, and this is just going to work as my base for the Mary Loumanizer that I'm going to apply on top of this shade on my brow bone. I really love to put highlighters on my brow bone. I just think that it really makes your brow bone pop, and it gives a little more extra oomph to the eye look that you're doing. Then with a fluffier brush, I go in with that Heaven shade and just apply it all onto my eyelids. This is just going to help create a little bit of an easier, path for us with our transition shades and crease shades. Couldn't think of the freaking word. I just find that this has helped, and it sort of kind of sets that eye primer as well. So I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. This has been my favorite palette of summer, and I'm going to go in with the shade Burnt Orange, and I'm not doing a cut crease or anything crazy. I'm just working it into my crease as I would any other shade. I really love using oranges as a transition shade, can't talk, or a crease shade. It just really makes the eye color look nice and warm and gives it that little pop of color. Especially looks good, orange and green. I think they look good together. I forgot to show you which shade I'm picking up, guys. I'm sorry, but it's from the same Anastasia palette. It's just called Realgar, I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's just a darker orange shade, and I'm just applying that onto the burnt orange crease color. This is just going to create more color and more dimension for us. Then I'm taking this Morphe buffing brush, or blending brush, if you will, and I'm just going to go ahead and buff this out. So taking this chunky Avon crayon, if you will, it's in the shade, I don't remember, I think it's called Celadon. It's just a really pretty mint green color. I'm just going to be applying this as sort of a primer for my green shadows. I just apply it to my actual lid. I don't really bring it up too much into the crease, but when I'm blending it out, I'm making sure that it meets the orange shades in my crease. You always have to make sure that you blend. If you do not blend, you're going to have trouble, and the eye look is not going to look good. So take your time and blend. Next, I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Smoked Palette. Thank you, Crystal. And this is the shade Loaded that I'm going to be using. Now I'm packing it onto my eyelid, and as I was doing this, I was like, oh god, this looks more of a turquoise green than an olive green. As you can see, it's still pretty and it still worked. This was not right, and I was like, okay, well, what can we do now? So that's where the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette is going to come in a minute here. Here we go, not even a minute, it was like a second. So I'm taking the shade Bless Her Heart. This is like the leaf of the peach I think they were trying to accomplish here. It's a nice little mint green shade, just like the Celadon, and it has some gold flecks in it. So it is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. I focus on packing it onto my eyelid first, then I go ahead with the same shade on a little crease brush and just work the green shade into the crease now, just to make sure everything's blending together. Next, from the same palette, I'm just going to be taking the shade Summer Yum. This is a nice orangey brown tan shade, and it's just going to darken up that crease a little more, give it more dimension, like I said. And then last but not least, I'm going to go in with the shade Puree. It's just the brown shade right next to it, and it's doing the same thing as the Summer Yum did. I think it just helps to blend everything even more, and I don't want this look to look too orangey, so I did want some browns in there as well. So for my inner tear duct highlight, I'm going back in with the Mary Loumanizer highlight, and I put it in my inner tear ducts. I only like this highlight for my inner tear ducts, my brow bone, and my the tip of my nose. I think it's too strong of a highlight for my cheekbones, but that's my opinion, so I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. So the clip of me doing my winged eyeliner was terrible. It just, like, the quality of it was really bad. So all I did was use the Maybelline Lens Stiletto and followed the tape as a guideline. Now I'm going in, oh my god, I am having a orgasm because this is my favorite under eye concealer / under eye highlight. This is the LA concealer or LA Pro Girl concealer in the yellow corrector shade. I love this for the under eye highlight. Like, look at how gorgeous this is with my skin tone. I'm literally obsessed. So after I blend that out, I'm doing the same thing as I did before. I'm going to go ahead and take some banana powder and place it under my eyes. As you see though, it leaves us with a weird chunk on the side of our face where my temple is. So you just always go over that with more of your contour powder. And then if you're like me and you kind of run your concealer into your contour, you can always go ahead and put your contour over it just so everything blends nicely like that. Now I'm going to do the other side off camera. And then this is the Urban Decay 24/7 Perversion eyeliner. I'm in love with it. It's the blackest of the black eyeliner that you will ever get, I swear to God. So then I put that just on my upper waterline. But for my lower waterline, I use the olive green Celadon color again, and then I bring it down to my lash line as well. So with a small pencil brush, I just go in with the green shade that we use and I apply it onto the Celadon eyeliner that I just put on. That also worked as a base for under there. But I go ahead and just place it with a small pencil brush first, and then I'm going to go ahead with a Morphe blending brush and apply it with that under the eye. This just helps to smoke it out. I love this brush. It was in my favorites. It literally does the work for you, especially for a smoky eye. So you should get it. So I started out using this, I think it's the L'Oreal, I'm not sure of the brand, it doesn't say it on it, but it's the Voluminous Million Lashes Mascara. I started out using this and then I didn't like how it looked. It wasn't enough for me. It wasn't as dramatic as I wanted it to be. So then I went in with the Lash Blast Plumpify from, it's either Maybelline or L'Oreal. I will link it in the description box below, but I liked that better. So I just applied this first and then I went over it with the Plumpify Lash Blast, and then I coat my upper lashes as well after I curl them first. Going in with lashes. These are my favorite lashes. They're so beautiful. They are the Queen Bee lashes from Coco Lashes, and they are seriously gorgeous. I'm going to Vegas next week, and I plan on taking these with me. I can't not live without these. Like I can't even speak right now. I'm so touched. Taking my Becca Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm going to be using the color Pamplemousse as my blush. This has been my favorite blush. I can't put it down. I've used it every day. I want to live inside this palette, guys. Literally want to live inside it. Remember when I said I wanted to put a palette in my pants? This is the one that I want to put in my pants now. So after I apply my blush for my highlight, I'm using another color in this palette. It's called Rosé Spritz, and it's a luminous blush. So it's more of a blush than a highlighter, but it still has that gold flecks. And I don't take too much because I don't want to overload my face with blush, but I just take enough to where it looks acceptable and pretty. Next, taking my e.l.f. stippling brush, I'm going to go ahead and brush off the baking powder and just make sure it's blended and there's no harsh lines there. But as you guys will see, this really helped to clean up the contour and then helped my skin. I just baked with the powder. Just looks beautiful. Okay, so now, you guys ready for this? Are you ready for the tragedy that happened and took place? Well, here we go. So I always just mute out the color of my lips, but I'm taking my Rest in Peace Avon lip liner, okay? It was in the shade Simply Spice, okay? And we're going, and we're having such a fun time, and this is so beautiful, and I'm like, wow, this is a great color for this look. And then, you know, I like, okay, let's do the upper lip. Broke off, and then I realized we were all out. But, you know, have no fear. MAC Whirl is here. So it's sort of the same shade, it's just not as pigmented. I noticed that the Avon lip liners are more pigmented, is not as waxy. That's why the MAC lip liners are a little like not as pigmented. Maybe that's just my opinion. I don't know. But I go ahead and I fill my lips and then, line my lips and then I go ahead and fill it in with the shade as well. And then, yes, you guessed it, I'm going to go in with, I'm a little ahead of myself. Give me a minute. Hold on. And now I'm going to go in with the Kylie Matte Liquid Lipstick in Candy K. This is just the perfect color for this look. It is the perfect pinky nude. I don't really like nude colors, but I like pinky nude colors, so this is absolutely perfect. It's getting me into the nudes slowly. I ain't sending no nudes to your DM, but if it's Kylie's liquid lipsticks, then we'll send them. So then, yeah, I finish it off by spraying with the Urban Decay setting spray, and that's it. Okay guys, so that was the tutorial. I hope you, bingo arms. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, I will post all of the products in the description box below and the shades of whatever I used or the eyeshadow names and things like that. Also, don't forget to ask me questions. You can ask however many. I will see you guys next time. And don't forget to stay Bella. Mwah. Bye guys.